I've touched the pad. Everybody in the world fused. Now then, crew, and welcome back to the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. Now we've got a mail call video because we've got some post. We've got a parcel, we've got a letter, we've got some other stuff, we've got some cool tools to have a look at that I bought recently. So where do we begin? Well, first of all, my apologies. I've been away on the road. My job, as many of you know, takes me far afield all over New Zealand, visiting various cities, destinations, farms, up mountains, along rivers, whatever it is. I get sent out to investigate whatever it is that I'm investigating. Can't say too much. It's my work and not my YouTube channel. But the good news is I'm here now, and I had a long drive down from Auckland on Friday night. Friday was a very bad day here in New Zealand. I'm not going to go into all of that, but I'm sure you've heard all about the problems in Christchurch. And I think it had something to do with traffic congestion as well in Auckland. It had a ripple effect. People were trying to get around, get on flights, do all sorts. So the traffic here in Auckland was absolute chaos. Not complaining about it. Hey, you know, from the problems that happened down in Christchurch, what's a traffic jam, to be honest? But it did take about 2.5 hours longer, so almost double the journey time to get down to the workshop, basically. Such is life. Anyway, I'm here now. This morning is Sunday morning. Yesterday, on the Saturday, I spent the entire day working on another ROV. I'm about that close to finishing it. Just got the brakes to overhaul. They're already stripped. Got the parts. Got to rebuild them, get them in, bleed them up. And I've got the exhaust weld up too. The back of the muffler's rotted out, so I've got that to refabricate, weld up. You know, make some new parts and bits and pieces. And then it can go back all the way to Auckland tomorrow. And then I'll deliver it tomorrow night. It's out of the way. Done. And then no doubt there'll be another one comes my way for the next couple of weekends. So it feels really weird filming again. I haven't filmed in the workshop for quite some time, have I? Anyway, we have a letter. Now, let's start off with the letter. I'm just going to cover up the address. Now, this is from another YouTube channel, SNA Auto Repair. Obviously, if you want their address, then by all means drop onto their YouTube channel. I'll put a link down in the description. Now, Corey sent me this through. He's a great fan of the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel, and likewise Corey. So let's have a look and see what's inside here. Where's my knife? Jeez, could be some blood. I always hate opening letters like this because often I cut the letter in half as well. Right, let's take a look. What have we got? S&A Auto sticker. Fantastic. Is there a letter? There isn't a letter. Oh, Corey, mate, you let me down there. Okay, right, to the toolbox. And I think at the same time, I had planned a bit later on in this mail call to put up another one of the Ichiban Moto stickers, but this time on the toolbox. So we'll get those two put on right now. Right, Corey, where do you want it, mate? Be so careful taking the backing off this one. It's pretty... There we go. Right. Well, I think next to Eric O, don't you? That will make complete sense. I'm just going to overlap you a little bit because it just means that you're a little bit affiliated. There we go, look. Because you're sort of from the same sort of area, aren't you, really? Okay. There you go, Corey. You have a place on the Andy Mechanic toolbox. Right. And I pronounced this guy wrong last time. It's Ichiban. I called it Ichiban because I'm an idiot. Ichiban Moto. Interesting channel. And again, I'll put you, if you've not come across him before, I'll put you a link at the bottom of this description. Now, this is where I really struggle to get these things off. Right, there we go. We got it. Okay. I think maybe just down. Ooh, we're going to cover up the old tang. I reckon down here actually. Let's just find a rag and get rid of that. The world's worst rag. Right. I think down there, it's a nice square sticker. Very cool. Right, back to the bench. Right, okay, so cheers, Corey. Really appreciate you sending that. There we are, look, sticker through. It's on the Andy Mechanic Toolbox now, so it's there forever. And it's going to be in lots and lots of videos. If you've not come across Corey's channel before, do check it out. There's a link down the bottom. He's a great guy. Very interesting stuff that he does. Okay, now what's next? Well, we've got a parcel. Let's go and take a look, see what's inside. Now, if you do decide to send any parcels through, then the address is just there, look. Cool. Okay, here goes. I have no idea where the best place to open this is, but we'll have a gander. Oh, we've got a cardboard box. Sorry, camera. Hey, he sent me some breakfast. Good timing, Simon. Excellent job. Fortunately, I put a new blade in the knife this morning, so... Right, so get rid of that. Tesco's Honey Nut Clusters. Oh, come on, I remember Honey Nut Clusters. They are really nice. Good man. Okay, let's have a little look. Slightly squashed box. It's come a long way, hasn't it? Jeez. In fact, there's all sorts of stuff in here. Oh yes. Right. Good man, look at that. Some Tunnocks tea cakes, my favourite. Good job. Okay, we'll have one of those with the coffee very shortly. And Tunnocks caramel wafer biscuits. Not a sponsor, bloody nice. If you've not tried these before, they are a delicacy. They're really good. Mum used to buy these all the time. These seem to be more popular here in New Zealand for me. I seem to buy these more now over here. But I try not to eat too many because, you know, I'm going to need a bigger shirt soon. Right, I'll get rid of all that. Ah, hey, there's extra. Hang on, I almost missed this bit. Let's have a little look. Right. I know what that is. That's for the old air compressor, isn't it? Bloody good. Okay, well, thank you, Simon. I'm going to need to find out if that's going to fit or not. And I can show you what I did on the repair. So there'll be a separate video on that. So cheers, Simon. I'll do you a video all of your own to see if this is going to fit. Hopefully it is. But I'm not sure. Only one way to find out. Who made that one? Facchiotti. It sounds Italian. I reckon it's Italian made. NW09. When I was doing some investigation work onto these, some research, there were so many different types. And they all pretty much perform the same job. But of course, you've got different thread sizes, different diameters. So, yeah, bit of a minefield, to be honest. Hopefully, that's going to work. Saying that, the one that I fixed doesn't leak, does exactly the right thing. It works. So, we have somewhat of a dilemma. Is it going to be a tea cake, or is it going to be a caramel waffle? Tea cake. Let's do the tea cake. I'll save the waffles for later on. A wafer, should I say. Caramel wafer. Right. Ta-da! Now, they have come a long way around the world and they're a little bit squashed. But that's okay, because I don't think it's going to affect the taste. Let's have a little look. Ooh. I wonder how long they've been in transit for. Look at this. Classic. Accident damaged. Okay. Cheers, Simon. Really appreciate it. These are awesome. It doesn't matter. It really it's going to happen, isn't it? It's been thrown around warehouses and chucked in vans and onto airplanes and maybe on ships. I don't know. Let's give it a go. Holy crap. We've now got 2 bits. Tastes perfect. Just how I remember them. It's way too early for cider this morning. I've got a lot of work to do. And, by the looks of it, I've got a bike to build up tomorrow. Urgent order. I reckon I've got to leave about 4 AM tomorrow. I don't do 4 AM. So, I will no doubt be taking these in the car with me, and they'll keep me alive until breakfast time. Okay, so what else have we got to do? Well, like I said before, I'll do a video on the valve, the non-return valve problem with the air compressor, let you know how I repaired it, and we'll also see if Simon's new valve, I think it's a second-hand one, it is a second-hand one, see if Simon's valve is going to fit. If it is, no doubt I'll put it in, because, you know, this is not broken, so probably more reliable. Who knows? So looking down the list, oh yes, new tool. Okay, we'll get rid of that. I've lost my my little shelf where I put my feet under the bench. I went down to, you might have seen like a lot of steel work, almost like, looks a bit like Dexian racking in the back of the workshop. And yes, I know the wall is still there, and I've not had time to do the welding yet to make the frames to take the middle wall out. But that Dexian racking, I got, there's a very sad day actually. Red Baron motorcycles in Auckland closed down. It'll be about 4 weeks ago now, I would say. Time flies. And they said, look, we've got all this racking, and if you want some, Andy, come down and disassemble it, and you can take it away. It's yours if you want it. And there was a lot of it. There was a hell of a lot of it. And I said, look, you know, it's only fair that you offer it to your staff first. They've been very loyal, been here a long time, and I'm sure some of that racking will be beneficial in their garages at home to tidy the place up. So they did ask around the other staff, and quite a few people put their name down for it, but when I turned up on the morning, there was still a ton of racking left. And it turned out that it ended up just being a bit too hard for most of the staff to take apart. They are a bit of a pain to assemble and disassemble. Often nuts and bolts are hidden. You've got to tilt the whole thing on its back. And Ben came down to give me a hand. We were there probably about half a day. We managed to strip, I think it was about 26 bays. So we ended up with probably about 140 shelves, plus all the angle iron and nuts and bolts and bits and pieces. So eventually, when this wall's gone, some of it, obviously not all of it, because it'd fill the entire garage, some of it will end up along the other wall. I think there's going to be a major change around once that wall's gone, so watch this space. Hopefully it'll be done within the next couple of months. I keep moving my time frame, but that's just the way it is. I'm not at home very much at the moment. That's the problem. So yeah, there's some history behind that racking, and there'll be a video on it eventually at some point as well. But that racking originally came from Air New Zealand's stores, their parts department for the aircraft. And if you look closely on some of the shelving, and I'll do some close-ups when I do the video, there's all sorts of part numbers. And then it got purchased probably at an auction. Maybe they moved their parts somewhere else and the racking got auctioned off. The guys at Red Baron, probably 20-25 years ago, bought some of that racking, got put up in their parts department, and then now there's all sorts of motorcycle stuff written on the shelving as well, stickers and bits and pieces, and all sorts of stuff. You'll read it. I won't give you a spoiler right now, but there's some pretty cool stuff on that racking. And then it's here. It's in the Andy Mechanic workshop, so it's going to be exposed again for many, many more years to come. And there's a lot of history to that racking, so I know it sounds a bit weird, doesn't it, to talk about racking, but it's been around a long time, and it's good to, you know, not just throw it away, which is what was going to happen. Okay, so new tool. We did a video. I did a video with Tool Girl Sam, which was the Makita. I think it was a DTW1002. In fact, it's in the drawer. Hang on. This one. I did a video on this, which is the DTW1002. And on the video, and there's been an awful lot of comments. It's proved to be a very popular video, probably for all the wrong reasons, which I feel a bit embarrassed about in some respects. But hey, I think I did the test okay. Project Farm does far better testing than I do. He's a clever guy. I'm a mechanic, I fix stuff. But I was interested to see if that tool produced 1,000 Newton meters. And this is the key thing, to use the equipment that I had available in my workshop to prove or disprove the output of that tool. And I think I did okay. Yes, the video was very long and it was Andy waffles, like he's doing now. But this is the critical part. Everybody was saying to me, or a majority of people were saying to me, Andy, your test rig should have been set up to loosen the nut after you'd done the nut up with the gun. I don't think that's entirely correct. I don't think it matters too much whether you're loosening the nut or tightening the nut. The fact is there will be a breakaway torque. So if you the theory is, the hypothesis, and I'm going to do a video this morning on it, is that if you tighten a nut to 80 Newton meters and you want to loosen that nut at a later date, it will not take 80 Newton meters to loosen, provided the bolt hasn't stretched and there's no damage to the threads and that kind of stuff. It will take more than 80 Newton meters, for example, to loosen that nut, and that's called the breakaway torque, because it takes additional effort to get that nut or bolt to start to turn. Now the question is the differential in breakaway torque to applied torque, initially the setting torque, let's say 80 Newton meters, is it, for example, let's say it's 5 Newton meters, so it's going to take 85 Newton meters, for example, to initially loosen that nut. Now sure, that 85 is going to very, very quickly drop off as soon as that nut starts to loosen, but it's still more than the original applied torque. If we were to tighten the nut to check the applied torque, and that's what the rig did, we wound the nut up as high as tight as it would go using the gun, whatever that was, and then we applied additional torque to the nut in the clockwise direction to tighten the nut until such time that it started to turn. And looking back on the video, it never turned. It never got any tighter. We applied over 1,200 Newton meters of torque and it still didn't turn any tighter, which tells us that the gun, the impact wrench, did apply, I would say, more than 1,000 Newton meters at least, because you can't have 200 Newton meters of additional torque required because of the breakaway force, surely. Anyway, so in this box is a torque adapter. Now, torque adapters are pretty cool. You've seen them being used on Project Farm. This is one made by a company called King Tony. It's a 3/4 drive. It's quite a beefy unit, and it will do, well, I've used it a few times now, and it goes from 0 Newton meters on the display, but it's only accurate between 100 Newton meters and 500 Newton meters. And it will do a trace, where basically as you're applying the torque, it'll give you live reading of the torque being applied on the screen, or it'll do a track. Now the track is basic, or peak should I say, is whatever the maximum amount of torque is applied, and that's what I'll be using in the video. So looking forward to using this, because we'll be able to use this to basically work out what the additional torque required is to undo a nut set at, let's say, 80 Newton meters, 50 Newton meters, and we can do a few different ones and see how it's going to affect it, because it's a learning curve, and until you understand the characteristics of nuts and bolts and the friction involved and so on, then, you know, how can you diagnose faults? Because, you know, if you go to I don't know, let's say a car wheel has come loose and fallen off, and it's been into a garage, and they've done a tyre rotate, so they've had all the wheels off the vehicle, and one of them, for some unknown reason, has come loose, the wheel nuts have come loose, and it's exited vehicle, caused a bit of a problem. Then if you were to go to the other wheels, and let's say again the torque setting was, I don't know, 70 Newton meters, a bit low, but anyway, 70 Newton meters on those lugs, American, and you use one of these to undo one of those nuts, and it started to undo at 70 Newton meters, then realistically that would be evidence to suggest the fact that the nut wasn't actually tightened to 70 Newton meters, because that 70, very confusing, includes the breakaway torque, so it had to have therefore been less than 70. Anyway, it's got an LED on it. Hell, that's fun. I should read the instructions. It's got 2 LEDs on that side as well. Okay, right, what else? So we've got a new tool, going to have some fun with that. That'll be a video later on this morning. And as soon as all the filming's done, I'll be straight back outside to work on the ROV. Yes, finally, patrons, Patreon. I had a Patreon page now for about just over a year, I think it is, maybe 18 months, something like that. Don't get a lot of time to add stuff, but I do, when I get a chance, I do add up videos and stills and so on, and it's work in progress. So if you're a patron at the moment, bear with me, I am on with it. But just want to really thank some new patrons that have come along, and of course the existing ones that have stood by me for so long as well. It's really, really appreciative, and it does make a huge difference having you patrons on board. Helping the channel, to be honest, because it's your money that helps to pay for things like this as well, you know, and the projects. We've got a project bike currently going on as well. So I'd like to thank Steve Bowman, Bill Moser, I think it is, Billy Elizondo, I think it is, I can't pronounce it, sorry Billy, Scott Green, Gordon Abbott, Devil666, sounds intriguing, doesn't it? And of course, Sean, no surname on Sean's, just Sean. So for all you guys, thank you very much for helping to support the Andy Mechanic YouTube channel. The pledges that you put through every month are very much appreciative, and they do really, really help. So my thanks to you. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this mail call. Not quite the end of the coffee though. So shortly after this, I'll be making the video on testing breakaway torque. So watch out for that too. Alright crew, if you enjoyed the video, why not click on the subscribe button. You'll see a little gear icon turn. I think it's this side actually. Click on the subscribe button. You'll see a little gear icon turn up. Click on the gear icon. You can tick the box and turn on notifications. And our friends down at YouTube will send you an email as and when I upload any new videos. You can also ring the bell on your smart devices too. You'll also find me on Facebook, Instagram. I was almost going to say Google Plus, but Google Plus is just about to finish, so let's scrub the Google Plus, forget that. And of course Twitter. So Facebook, Instagram and Twitter from now on. Google Plus will no longer be in the next few days. I think it's the end of March, 1st of April or something, it dies off. So if you've got a Google Plus account, it's going to go. So if you want anything off it, get it down. Okay, that's about it really. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and thoroughly enjoying keeping on going with the channel. And the only reason, I make this a complete promise to you now, the only reason why there haven't been any videos posted, workshop based videos posted for the last couple of months really, is that Andy has been too busy. A moving workshop has proved to be a huge disruption, and that combined with the work levels at work at the moment, it's just been almost impossible. But I will be making a superhuman effort now over the next few weeks to get back into a routine, because that's what it was before. I'd film on a Saturday, maybe on a Sunday morning as well, edit a video up Sunday afternoon, and then edit through on the evenings during the week, and then the whole process would start again. And you guys would see 2, 3, sometimes even 4 videos in a week. And that's the standard that I enjoy and I like, and I strive to attain, and I haven't done it. I've let myself down, and I've let you guys down, and my apologies. Okay, until next time, cheers, over and out. And we get the flip up again. Oh. Yes.